And welcome to Synergy Education. My name is Sabrina Wallace. I am a disabled woman for 20 years, courtesy of our government testing on anybody they feel like. And for those of you that keep telling me, stop telling us you're disabled, well then start acknowledging that the main source of data that you've been following very quietly, a lot of your doctors, a lot of different people, is coming from a woman who's barely survived their crap with zero admission to multiple harmed groups of humans. SRA, satanic ritual abuse, never happened. Targeted individuals getting made fun of in Congress last year. Now we have the vaccine injured. And a bio-cyber interface that you fools that keep complaining and claiming the W-band's not real, the bio-nano things aren't real, and yet here on the channel, I'm not the only one that knows how to read. So I want to introduce you to being able to reclaim your literacy, hopefully your sanity, and your ability to critically think. If what we are discussing here on the channel is some sort of conspiracy theory, well then all of your universities, your government, your current warfare doctrine to protect you with that cute little golden dome that you heard about in Congress isn't real. These are systems, they're engineered. They've been around for 60 years. And as it goes with all things, when it comes to jobs, are you a mechanic? Are you a nuclear physicist? Are you a doctor? Well, guess what? Those types of jobs don't necessarily communicate all the time for all the minutiae of their industries. And that means that a nuclear physicist is going to come across details, information that your physician or your mechanic, master mechanic on vehicles may never see. Does that mean that the nuclear physicist is crazy and a conspiracy theorist? No, it means they're working a different job that is in an industry of business that doesn't interface multimodal with the physician or the master mechanic. Now you would think, if you're an adult, you're like, God, yeah, that makes total sense. Then where are you getting confused? Like, what is so hard about this? These different telemetry systems are built for human bodies as much as they are built for tanks and planes in electronic warfare that has dominated the electromagnetic spectrum for 60 years. Now here on the channel, this is 2025. We've been out here now 3 years. I'm not alone. You'd be surprised. There are many people out there that know how to read. So when you come up on us and you tell us all your fairy tales and the things that you've been indoctrinated with, brainwashed with, gaslit with, we try to help you. We give you data. We don't sit there and tell you you're stupid. We do not tell you that you're beneath us. We don't stick our nose in the air and narrative drive together, making money off of clicks. I'm disabled. Non-vaxxer's a single dad. Corinne over in Germany, nobody paying her. Nobody's paying non-vaxxer. We don't sell you anything. You may not donate to me. You may not subscribe to me. Do not email me. Oh, yeah, total inverse of what you're used to for at least a decade on the internet, huh? Now, less than 5 minutes of your time. If you can't handle that and you don't want to read and you don't want to know, bye. We're good. There are plenty of people out there that enjoy their literacy and they do want to know. So when you tell them on the X, it ain't real, and you start throwing a fit like a toddler, we ignore you because you can either read right in front of your face, and then if you go, well, that's impossible. Here's what okay, hang on. This is an image. Here's what I tell people to do. When you got an image like this, you can't see what I'm doing here. You can't click on it. You can't highlight it. What you do is you go, okay, what is the Internet of Bio-Nano Things? Well, the AI can lie. Calm down. Just try to calm down, okay? I know you're scared. That's why a lot of people do this. It's psychological, all right? This is Science Direct right there. First thing that comes up. That's because we're not dealing in theoretical application. We're dealing in deployment in every nation worldwide for over 20 years of research and development, and then moving that research and development into the military sector, and then moving the military sector research and development into commercial development. What I encourage people to do is click on images. What do you see? Because images are usually easier for people to look at and be like, whoa, what's that? What do you see? You see human bodies. That's right. You also see bioweapon. No, you see a bio-cyber interface. Welcome to college students. Welcome to business. Welcome to synthetic biology. Welcome to the International Telecommunications Union. Welcome to the telecommunications industries. Welcome to college textbooks. And when you have a review, see where it says Internet of Nano and Bio-Nano Things, a review. That means the work in R&D, application, and some theoretical application for solving challenges, resolving, where they're having problems. That is what a review means. Not, it's not here, it's not real. The people that have wasted your time telling you that this is not happening are embarrassing. Here we are again. That is Corinne, because it's a bio-cyber interface. Here we are again at Semantic Scholar, not Corinne's X page, and it's a bio-cyber interface. Here we are again, building the Internet of Bio-Nano Things at the Medical Design Briefs, a magazine for physicians and their offices. Tech Science Press, performance analysis of artificial intelligence nanosystem with biological Internet of Things. Now, this is what I would do. If I were someone on the X that wants to fight and argue, this is what I would do. I'd be like, dude, that ain't real. Welcome to MIT. Is MIT real? Yeah. Well, and what are they doing with all these nano things and molecular communications? Why is this here? How old is it? How many more places, how many more college textbooks can I find? Additionally, do you notice that in this one it says retracted article? Oh, here's another one. Retracted article, because that's the other thing. Well, it's retracted. Yeah, because they went with a different system. Well, they're still deploying it. Okay, one more time. Research and development happens first, and then the military, and then the companies. So now what they're doing with their deployment is they're working out the kinks, the challenges. Well, you're not doing anything because you're not facing the telemetry that they are using with every single one of these pictures. You're not dealing with the CDC, Professor Achilles. Don't be attacking him. He's one of many people. You're not dealing in reality where there's industry and money. That's called market share. And right there, the Internet of Nano Things industry forecast, 2020 to 2028. So what we're trying to do with people who are not grifting you, we don't want your money. We want you to admit market share. We want you to admit college students out there. We want you to admit the IEEE knows what they're doing. That's it. So that when we talk about molecular communication, weaponizing bacteria, people can learn. They don't have to sit there and go, the aliens, the ghosts, the Jesus, Excuse me. If any of that were real, none of us here on the channel or our tertiary communities of researchers, we can't find it. All we find day in and day out is you going to work on the perspective on the bio-nano interface technology for COVID-19. Oh, look, it's the picture I show you all the time in my little folder from Frontiers. That's your bio-nano interface specifically for your convid. because we tried to tell you to fight future pandemics with the Internet of Things, logging in and out of your vital signs. But they don't do it to everybody. Well, of course not. It depends. Where do you live? What are you connected to and how? But when you tell people that electronic warfare is not real, Lockheed is broke, and when you tell people that Professor Jornet is, I don't know, he's some sort of clown over there in Italy and wherever, the Internet of Bio-Nano-Things in blood vessels, IEEE, yet again, with a PDF. So then what you do, if you are a person that wants to know what is true, you click on that and you go, okay, is this real? It is a conceptual depiction. Oh, then it's not here. Excuse me. These are professional papers in which other professionals are developing systems based on research and development that was finished 2 decades ago. This is the commercial world with academia. Now they're making it standard. So what you do is you read through it and you educate yourself. Oh, they're using the pressure of our veins and arteries. They're using the air molecules to take our biosignals and using the pressure in the air and all these metals that they've been spraying with the same smart dust they use with their NFT. Then in vitro, meaning in a laboratory, double checking exactly what they put inside the patient and if they can wirelessly extract the same signals they double checked in the laboratory. And what I would suggest is that you go here to their open challenges and concluding remarks, and you go, but if DARPA and the military already did this 30 years ago, and they did, that's why you are seeing it in academia. Then what you do is you read through, okay, furthermore, we confirm the feasibility of the proposed Internet of Bio-Nano-Things systems by developing and implementing nanoscale molecular communication prototype. Although the proposed system is in its preliminary stages, we see a number of interesting research challenges that can be addressed. It does not say it failed and that they don't know what they're doing and we quit. It says the challenges that can be addressed, including obtaining a deeper understanding of the biological channel environments. That means digging under your skin at biological layer 0 harder. That means continuing the open air testing that caused and created the targeted individual community, SRA before them, etc. It does not say we're going to stop, we don't know what we're doing. I cannot stress this enough. The reason that we ended up here with all these white papers is because people do not like to read. And then everyone's, that's so offensive. Well, hey, if everybody got together and quit watching the stupid politicians dance around and quit giving your money to fraud, then you would read a paragraph, 1 paragraph with common sense of business and industry. And you would say, oh, a deeper understanding of biological channel environments, new components, and system architectures for supporting effective modulation, detection, and coding. Welcome to jobs. No demons, no lizards, jobs. Then you're out of the conspiracy world. Because now we're dealing with market share, industry, and jobs. And when the president gets out there and says, we'll cure your cancer in 2 days, you're no longer sitting there looking like a fool. You look at this paragraph and you go, oh, those are jobs. How do we know for sure? The references. Oh, This is why I am really becoming hostile to those of you that keep telling us that all these people, because there's a bunch of different people and universities and previous research, and yet on the daily, it can't. All you need to do is read. All you need to do is look at how much money. We expect that this work will provide insights into the system design, of the Internet of Bio-Nano Things with molecular communication. And then most of the time, what is molecular communication? That's the new communication paradigm using molecules or chemical signals as information carriers, allowing nano-sized and cell-scale entities to communicate over short distances, unlike traditional communication using those electromagnetic waves. And one of the places you'll see right away from February 11 years ago is that your IEEE Communication Society and Telecommunications is all over this. It's business. It is business. People be making money. People be going to college for 11 years. Yeah, this didn't come out of nowhere. This came out of research and development. Now, once you break through your own bullshit biases, whatever they are, and hey, we all have them, myself included. The next thing people want to do is scream and yowl and sue somebody. That ain't happening. That's the other component that people didn't understand. I said, listen, this is part of missile defense. And yesterday I went over the Golden Dome with appropriate spectrum, bandwidth, frequencies, all of it. And the biggest lie that we've had to deal with, well, electronic warfare is only for tanks and planes. And the rest of us are like, well, that's completely bullshit, because after 60 years, Lockheed ain't broke. And they would be, because if they left out human bodies, well, then you would just run a human body in there and Lockheed would be defeated. So the same thing they did 3 years ago, they're still doing. That's an F-35. You buying that? Look at that image and understand that is a tank or a plane. Now you're laughing. So are they. Because for 3 years on the channel, we thought for sure humans would want to know that they're tethered to an algorithm in a database. Nope. It says very clearly, human activity recognition, not F-35 activity recognition. Nope. That is a tank or a plane. And I said, damn, that F-35 going shopping for a couch. And yet, if you read, see what I mean by you need to read. You cannot sit here and let these people continue to drive you into the ground. And they are. They have a reason. I'm sure they have many. But if we speculate, we'll be here all day. Okay? So what we do here on the channel is we say, listen, you want to speculate about so-and-so and what company, you go ahead. That is an arena we don't want to be in either, because you can't prove it. You can speculate, you can complain, but it changes nothing. Well, this won't change anything. Why are you educating on this when there's nothing we can do? There's nothing that anybody's going to do if they can't read. And if we cannot get you people that keep jumping up on the X over and over, telling us it ain't here, it's not real, you need to read. It says a single moving person, not an F-35, not an Abrams tank. That is a human body being followed in their home with the same smart dust that you got with your cute little NFT. So you're walking through your house and you think you're alone. Oh, hell to the nah. You're being followed around. Now let's take a look at non-cooperative human activity recognition radar. And here's another one. Well, it's not real and they don't. Stop. Just stop. Click on images. Take a deep breath. Woosah. Okay? And then you come into the images and you can see across the top Wi-Fi. They're using your wireless to watch you, to ping different signals around you. And that means that you and your neighbor will have an entirely different experience if they have a different job, if they're involved with something nefarious or not. It all depends on your own environment. See where it says automatic target recognition? See, you can read about this on the Amazon. Okay? Then right there, what are those? Those are satellite dishes. What are they doing? They're translating data. Space, air, ground, maritime targets, human activities with radar direction. See the Golden Dome video. And then what you do, if you're like, whoa, they're using radar. Yes. And they've been doing it for 60 years. Not, they don't know what they're doing. It's theoretical. Sasha Lapova did nobody any favors, especially considering that she fraudulently presented herself as an expert who had no idea about biomedical telemetry when her previous employer was wrapped up in developing biomedical telemetry for heart monitors. See other videos. This has to stop, but it won't. Unless you yourself decide, I don't like being lied to. These are jobs. These are jobs of electronic warfare, for the Golden Dome, for the smart city. Oh, agentic AI. HOW, please. Welcome to deep feature extraction, deep learning, AI. There's your agentic AI. But you don't know that. You're not from machine learning, writing computer code. How would you know? So they run narrative drivers, people to get out there and tell you what your cute little ears want to hear. And then your targeted individual people are continued to, or they're told, suffer some more. You're crazy. And so is the whole world. Unless you're working for these people, you're crazy. These are jobs. Using the same machine learning with your agentic AI and all the happy fun time everybody been having with the internet. Which is why, to those of us who are from the 90s, we're past the point of tolerating your inability to read graphs, boxes, diagrams, and words, and look up words in context. That says data collection of human activity. See the little image? Do you see an F-35 and an Abrams tank? You're so condescending. No, I'm trying to help the people that are being taken advantage of and treated less than human. When you sit there as a professional, I don't care what, fill it in, and you sit on that professionalism and say, but yet when we present you with appropriate documentation, direct from your own sources, academia, and you say, I can't read a diagram. Okay, there's something wrong here that very clearly delineates right in front of your face, right there, human activity. That is not an F-35. That is not an Abrams tank. But yet, some magical way, there's the millimeter wave radar. You wouldn't have a Golden Dome. You wouldn't have the president talking like he is if you did not have the appropriate business and industry. Now, if you cannot explain it, well, that makes sense. As I started out, are you from these jobs? So then when you hear my tone of voice right now, this is directed at those of you who have stalled us for 3 years. That single dad in Canada has a child. I have a family. And I'm sure that Corinne has better things to do than continue to argue with you. Then you go out there and tell people we're going to tear down 5G towers. That isn't going to help. The 6G is already deployed. See other videos. So what are you doing right now today? See if that comes into focus. It's another set of satellites. Right now, today, what are you doing? Here we are at ResearchGate, real application in the healthcare system using human activity, monitoring camera, classifier, action classifier, sensor. Now, is the Abrams tank sitting and jogging? I've never seen an Abrams tank go up the stairs, although I'm sure they're capable. How about the F-35? Is the F-35 jogging? Your problem with us is that we're done with the gaslighting, and you're not. It's that simple. So you, whoever you are, if you're watching myself or non-vaxxer or anybody, this is the level that we're at. They have dehumanized everybody. If you're not augmented, then you're worthless. You're not getting that because they have you watching their politicians and their endless movie of horror. Our intelligence community is who is doing this the whole time. The SRA, the GATE program, they're the ones who have been putting human augmentation into place. You're not going to get away from that. Nobody will. It's not theoretical. It's industry. That's the hardest thing that people are processing right now, and I appreciate that. I really do. Human action recognition is an integral part of smart health monitoring, where intelligence behind the services is obtained and improves through sensor information. Over and over again here on the channel, we bring up your amazing ITU document, which is your telecommunications standard for the world. And we're like, yeah, this is the biodigital convergence, where they took 20 years of your tax dollars with cognitive neuroscience. And they developed an Internet of Bio-Nano-Things system, and they rolled it out and tested it out, and now it's available with the Internet of Everything and the Internet of Things and your blockchain with our network-centric warfare and our network-centric system or systems of systems. Not the aliens are here. That's it. What are we going to do? Well, I don't know, because it seems like a lot of people, they don't want to deal. They would much rather pretend. The warfare doctrine is not real. It's network-centric right now today, since 2005. Nope. I don't want to know how the drone does anything. I don't care. The biosensors are not real, or I can drink a magic potion. The biosensors are not only made of nano, they're made of your own cells. And the graphene, blah, 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 yet it is making tons of money worldwide. And they want you to bond with your digital twin. They want you to get yourself less biological and merge with machines. That's what we got coming out of industry. IBM Business, South by Southwest. Not, it's coming from the Illuminati. Nope. This is coming from your crypto czar, which apparently is going to be given a big speech here in a while because it's Friday. So you have to wonder, given that non-vaxxer, myself, Corinne, and a few, very few, tertiary communities have been going, what are you doing? I don't want you under my skin. Oh, tough shit. And then the neurocapital law discussion on Zoom a couple days ago. You don't even get access to your own neurons. That's for the military and academia. But they're considering neurocapital laws to protect you from hackers and maybe other companies. Hey, we need protection from you. I don't want you under my skin. Well, do you live here? Behavior modification. We don't need to put lithium in the water. We'll log into your body. Since 1995. Remote patient monitoring and real-time ubiquitous smart healthcare is mandated worldwide. The Federal Communications Commission gave Spectrum in 2012. And we're all just sitting here, fish in a barrel. Some of us have family members with this type of equipment embedded in them. It's very terrifying. When they were injected a couple years ago, some really bad things happened. That's the newest group of test subjects called the vaccine injured. The biocyber interface is a purposeful interface for human augmentation. The doctors, the nurses, and the police, and everybody who's involved with intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, command and control, they know all about it, and they've handed over government control to artificial intelligence since about 2012 and been tweaking it ever since. But people didn't want to listen. They decided they wanted to have the mothership come in so that they could blame aliens, demons, anything but the people that are dancing in front of your face as politicians, telling you, making you promises that will never come true. So that's why here on the channel, we stick with Gartner and Deloitte, who are big purveyors of your cryptocurrency and your blockchain, because we know that that is your digital twin, your electronic health records, and all personalized medicine that Trump talked about 2 days into office, how you're saving the planet with environmental monitoring with sensor technology, smart sensors, IP data loggers, digital water, cloud-based telemetry, smart cities, monitoring networks, data anytime, anywhere, endless biosensors, not just quantum dot. It's all here, and nobody will talk about it except us, which leaves it nice and plausibly deniable. It ain't real, because that crazy disabled woman, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's still business, and it's still happening. And it has a history of R&D. And the nation states of the world said, yeah, we're going to do this to our entire populations, whether they like it or not. You click on that link. I've read it out loud to people numerous times. This little blue link here. Click on that and read for yourself. It's on page 7 or 8. And the reason they're doing it is not because they're mean and demons. No, they want to live forever. This is life extension technology. But in order to do that, they're under your skin. Now, this is where I don't care what religion you think you are. It doesn't matter. Atheists. Somebody else is screwing with your cell structure and your nervous system. And these neurocapital laws are designed to insulate them doing that. Not, they're going to stop. We're decentralized. No, you are not. See other videos for the technical breakdowns that are real. So, without getting into the other hokum, well, they're going to steal our soul. I think you should be a little more concerned about central nervous system controlled by a government entity, because the government's done such a great job protecting everybody, etc. There's not very many people who can disagree with that. But while you're busy watching Elon, he's going to go rescue the International Space Station. That's wonderful. For those of us here on the ground that are not billionaires, we're still fighting the very people doing this to all of us. SRA, TIs, and now the vaccine injured. Why did you do this? So that you could log into every human whenever you wanted to remotely. That is not an F-35. That's you in your own house, 24/7. And that right there should be enough. You would think that people will go, whoa, and make a stink. Nope. They're going to work. They're working out the challenges of digging through your blood vessels. And every day I wake up, it's the same. Synthetic cells and the internet of bio-nano things. Nope, not real, not here, theoretical. Oh my God, it can't be. It's too hard. Nobody knows what they're doing. Does that look like a reptilian to you? Internet of bio-nano things, polymer-based chemical to optical gateways. Summer school. School. Not, ooh, they got together in a deep underground bunker. No, that says summer school. Let's click on it. Let's find out. Let's see if we see an underground bunker. I don't know. Do you? Okay. Where are we now? KUVS Summer School 2024, Internet of Bio-Nano Things, June 18th to 20th. During a hands-on session. Well, if that's a lizard, they're doing great. Illumidonkey and all these other fairy tales, are those aliens? Okay. Are they demons? Because, again, it just, it looks like that's a student, looks a little tired, because these things are really intense, these conferences. And it's summer school, it's usually condensed learning with people that are very focused. So let's read the paragraph and see what we got here, because I want to see David Icke's lizards. I want to see why it is that we've wasted 5 years of my time, 3 years of my time, 5 years of non-vaxxers' time, and everybody else, Deborah Tavares, if you want to throw her in there, whatever, whoever, tons of people that warned about this, but you're playing with the biosphere, biology, And nobody bothered to mention research and development, R&D. They're like, it's here. Yeah, well, once it's here, they've augmented the atmosphere. Now you're going to have to augment it back, because doing that would take out your augmented people who are currently, right now, going to college, running the world, and they don't seem bothered. They think they're going to correct every disease. They're going to rearrange your DNA at will. And I don't understand exactly why, but I think that it could be, they don't understand how far along it is, maybe. And maybe they just think it's a better world if they have a remote to your central nervous system and you don't. Last week, some members of the SciMo CADS team took part in the summer school Internet of Bio-Nanothings in Hovakt on the Baltic Sea. The summer school is organized by the Communication and Distributed Systems. Where did we just see that? Where did you just see distributed systems? Up here with our network-centric warfare and systems of systems. Sometimes called distributed systems. Whoopsie, a distributed and network-centric system or system of systems. Yeah, this is industry. Yeah, it's a layout of how the internet actually works. Otherwise, your summer school here would be in trouble because whatever they're developing wouldn't work on the internet. This is engineering, not, I'm going to take a shot in the dark with my conspiracy theory friends and get lost wandering the forest looking for cryptids. That's an engineered biological entity with DARPA Biotechnology's office. Have fun, Google fingers. So, the Communication and Distributed Systems, a special interest group that brings together scientists and researchers working in this field and serve as their representative body for other institutions. Professor gave a talk on fluorescing biomarkers, and a doctor took the participants into the world of gateway technologies. Our young researcher associates presented their research topics during the poster session on Tuesday and had a lot of fun during the hands-on session that took place on Wednesday. With all the interesting and stimulating talks and discussions and the beautiful setting of the venue, this event will remain unforgettable for the participants. Thank you, KUVS, for organizing this really great event. Now, this is where, for me, Sabrina, I don't blame the college students. Oh, look. There's your Nuremberg. Violation of human rights. Yeah, you're looking at it. Isn't it something? We're going to have Nuremberg Part 2. Yeah, you didn't do anything the first time. You gave them paperclip and Manhattan Project jobs. Hey, here we are. Still working jobs, remoting into people's bodies, rearranging their DNA. Gosh, what's that called? Eugenics. No. Yeah, life extension technology. Eugenics is going to be involved. So, here's what I got sent this morning to go over again and again and again. Nanoscale and molecular communication framework. And I have so many tabs open because I'm always having to reiterate that, here's where you go and here's where you look. And then people scream and yell and they want to fight. And I'm like, hey. All you got to do is click on images and find what works for you. Check it out. Boy, that looks like fun. Nanoscale Networking and Communications Handbook. Molecular communication framework with the IEEE. Looks like a transmitter and a receiver with classical and quantum mechanics. Quantum's not real. Oh, you're adorable. And we got our nanoscale and molecular communication framework involving radio wave, microwave, infrared, terahertz, nanoscale, gamma, ultraviolet, and X-ray. And then we get the idiots. I live in 1995. We only use radio waves. Sorry, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. We've updated technology. See the IEEE in 2014. Learn about the terahertz connectivity with that there visible light communication. You might want to open your eyes a little bit. We don't only use electromagnetic waves. There were line of sight issues, path loss issues, different routing issues that had to be resolved. And so we've upgraded. Welcome to the IEEE Molecular, Biological, and Multi-Scale Communications Technical Committee. Then you're going to tell me that because you're some old person, literally, who's living in 1995, you need everybody living in 1995 with you, that you know more than what is making money worldwide right now today. And as a person with 2 children at college age, I look at you and say, I'm sorry. I know that this is emotionally difficult for some, but it is mentally very easy. What you do is you click on the link and you open it and you verify where you are, okay? You're at the IEEE Communications Society. Be an adult, put your big boy pants on, put your big girl pants on, and be like, oh, snap and a half, these are jobs. Wow. The area of molecular, biological, and multi-scale communications covers the principles, design, and analysis of signaling and information systems that use physics. Don't say it too loud. The biophysics nerds are still stuck under their desk obsessing over airplanes. And don't say it too loud, because the people on the X that keep telling you it's impossible, the next few words are going to make them real upset too. It's kind of, I'm doing my best here, I really am. But what I find very deeply troubling is that I'm trying to communicate in ways that are effective for adults that need to stop being gaslit. And one of the things gaslighting does is it damages your neural networks and your, what's that called? Neurogenesis, the ability for your brain to heal itself. When somebody shoots you straight and they're completely wide open, straight across, here's what it is. There's a range. You can do it monotone. You can talk nicely to them about obscene topics. Or you can come at it the way I do. There's a range. And there are many people out there that talk about this in different ways. If I am not your cup of tea, that's cool. I'm not for everybody. You can go to the Non-Vaxxer 420 channel, who sent me this, and you can see it on his channel. He even has the AI read to you so that you have no emotional inflection at all. The AI just reads you all those paragraphs. It could be in the car, it could be out in the garden, whatever. But whatever it is to get through to your literal damaged brain tissue from being told so many ghost stories, alien stories, and hey, all of us have been inundated with psyops and all their different narrative driving, blah, blah, blah. Plus, they want you afraid every 5 minutes. So if you take all of that and you unload it, now what do you got? Well, we're here at the IEEE Communications Society, that is the International Electrical and Electronics Engineers who do the work of the world for the internet, making it work. All right. And so what is MBMC? Well, that's molecular, biological, and multi-scale communications covering the principles, design, and analysis of signaling, biosignals, see other videos, and information systems that use physics beyond conventional electromagnetism, particularly for small-scale and multi-scale applications. This includes molecular, quantum, and other physical, chemical, and biologically inspired biomimetics techniques, as well as new signaling techniques at these scales. Who are we? The Molecular, Biological, and Multi-Scale Communications Committee is a technical committee of the IEEE Communications Society. Members come from diverse disciplines, including those traditionally within IEEE Communications Society and those from outside the typical IEEE ComSoc backgrounds, such as molecular and cell biology, biological engineering, don't say it too loud, you'll scare the Yetis, and medicine. Yeah, that would be your biomedical engineers, for example. What do they do? What do we do? The MBMC aims to foster the emerging area of MBMC by providing its members with a community for technical activities, interactions, and resources. In particular, we seek to facilitate collaboration within our membership and with related fields, including the identification of new research challenges, opportunities, and applications. We support our community by organizing, endorsing, and supporting activities that include seminars, workshops, conferences, and tutorials. Where's the underground bunkers? Where's all the alien ships? Where's all the lizards? In your imagination. That doesn't mean they don't create synthetic biological entities. But what it does mean is that in this place where we are now, we still cannot get people to admit these are jobs. And that is egregious. It's offensive. It's dehumanizing everyone. And ignoring the SRA, targeted individual, and vaccine-injured groups, all three, wide open, big testing, for all of this molecular, biological, multi-scale communication, and what is being done to either stop it, bring it to attention, deal with it? Nothing. Remember, you're listening to someone who's been disabled for 20 years for this shit right here, so that it can now be done to everyone on a mass scale, and it was. Remember that link I mentioned that you should go open? Let's go open it together so you understand. They have a digital copy of you for 50 years with Congress, but it doesn't stop there. The governments of the world want to augment everyone, and they decided they don't want your opinion. And the reason they don't want your opinion is national security. Nope, not kidding, not at all. So when we show you at these things, the things that we're looking at right now, with the appropriate conferences and students, and it's so wonderful. Those of us who've already been harmed by the research and development before what you're looking at here with commercial deployment, we're like, whoa, hey, wait, and guess what? They don't want your opinion, or ours, or anybody's. We cannot wait for the ethics of human augmentation to be decided for us. We must be part of the conversation now. The ethical implications are significant, but not insurmountable. Early and regular engagement will be essential to remain at the forefront of the human augmentation field. Ethical perspectives on human augmentation will change, and this could happen quickly. There may be a moral obligation to augment people, particularly in cases where it promotes well-being or protects us from the COVID. And none of you figured that out? Here's a donut. Go get vaccinated. Okay, I'm vaccinated. Everybody must get vaccinated or grandma will die. That's not how vaccines have ever worked. Well, that's how they work now. Okay. And did Fauci and everybody get a pardon? They're probably on vacation in Aruba. Hello, Aruba. So there may be a moral obligation to augment people, particularly in cases where it promotes well-beings and protects us from your donut-related COVID. It could be argued that treatments involving novel vaccination processes and your mRNA's not real, gene and cell therapies that we've been reading about for 20 years of nano.gov are examples of where your money went and of human augmentation already in the pipeline. The need, not the maybe, not the we don't know, not the, well, I'm thinking about it. No. NEED. To use human augmentation may ultimately be dictated by national security. Countries may need to develop and use human augmentation or risk surrendering national influence, national prosperity, and national security to other nations who've already augmented their populations. National regulations dictating the pace and scope of scientific research reflects societal views, particularly in democracies that are more sensitive to public opinion. The future of human augmentation should not, however, be decided by ethicists or public opinion, which is why your Neural Capital Zoom call earlier this week was very clear. The military and academia get to screw with your central nervous system like they have been for 30, 50 years, and you don't even get access to your own blood, bone, and tissue. It's for national security. Listen more carefully. The future of human augmentation should not be decided by ethicists or public opinion. Rather, governments will need to develop a clear policy position that maximizes the use of human augmentation in support of Elon Musk and his digital twin, Adrian Dittman, the intelligence community who've been augmenting themselves in hotels for 14 years, and national prosperity, because they're the ones prospering, making money, and doing whatever they want to do to innocent people. That's why we have such large groups of medically maimed and harmed innocent people who to this day are told, you're just a nut job. How could you dehumanize anymore? Well, we're going to make everybody get injected with a biocyber interface and waste their time for 5 years screaming vaccine, making them afraid, telling them to watch the movie, which is our own politicians who are also using life extension technology. Yeah, that would be human augmentation. For national prosperity, national security, national safety, without undermining their values. Because the SRA, the targeted individuals, and the vaccine injured, you don't got no values. But don't worry, as you saw, I skipped a line there. Your voices are very important. Well, that's amazing. To who? Because it clearly isn't the people involved. And the neural capital laws are only worried about hackers and companies. So this is very dangerous because you're screwing with our biosphere and biology. Nah, they got it under control because they're not going to give you control over your own body. And they're happy. They're continuing on with their wonderful activities professionally in industry and market share. And here on the channel, on the daily, we're like, can you read? How dare you? Okay, well, if people don't actually read it for what it is, and that these are standards that are dictated, like this is business and industry. We don't have conspiracy in the way the internet functions physically. We have deployment, standards, market share. We don't have, here's the theory, because once it's debunked, then it will be like that other paper I showed you where it said retracted. Right, because it doesn't work. And if it does work, oh, what's the odd? Terahertz meets AI. Well, I thought the 5G wasn't real, the 6G isn't real, and we're still on the 3G with the 4G with the front haul and back haul. And yet somehow, magically, from MDPI, Sensor Journals, and the blockchain's not in use. Oh no, the human body doesn't have enough energy. Wah, wah, wah. This is what I mean by dehumanizing people. They're tethered to the internet since 1995, and you people out there cannot be honest that these systems are fully deployed. And that the R&D that's still happening for, like right here, the different versions of Nano, that's just the standardization of the 6G that was ordered by your own government. See other videos. And we're still fighting you. We should be coming together. We should be coming together under the auspices of dehumanizing other humans is not okay. There's no reason to sit here and play stupid. There never was. But that is where the problem remains. So I will leave these links here for you, whoever you are, to practice what I just showed you. And if there's something you don't understand, then you look up a word in context. I have other videos. And the next time that you're on the X and you want to pick fights, I would be very careful and very selective because we don't like fighting. We would much rather be able to get this in front of people who continue to be gaslit, brainwashed, and called names simply for reading papers like that. In this position paper from Japan, we describe research challenges on the Internet of Bio-Nano Things, an emerging paradigm that integrates molecular communication and traditional electromagnetic communication systems into a single communication system. I tried to explain to the tard yesterday when he said, we only use electromagnetics for cell phones. And like, clearly you don't know about computer networking on the back end of ISPs since the 90s and the way that we toggle signal with front haul, back haul, etc., in order to get the appropriate network with the right timing, quality of service, and bit rates. It's cool, but you're wrong again. And all of you that are doing that and throwing those red herrings, I really just don't believe that you're being real If you're smart enough to go sniff your own ass packets in an underground cave, then why aren't you smart enough to read these papers? Doesn't make sense. Just basic logic. Into a single communication system, the Internet of Bio-Nano-Things systems are expected to bring innovation to conventional healthcare models. See, that doesn't say military. It doesn't say theoretical. It says healthcare, and that's your e-health and your m-health. This paper introduces new interfaces termed internal interfaces to facilitate two-way communication between the edge interfaces and the target molecular communication systems. We assume that the target molecular communication systems are deployed, deep inside the body to obtain physiological data. They've been doing that since 2011, wide open with NASA, Wiley, Professor Achilles, the IEEE, and yet somehow we're supposed to believe that, oh, it just got here. That's not how research and development works. Therefore, the internal interfaces that make communication between them are essential. This paper describes research challenges associated with internal interfaces. That would be deep in the body. I said they're rooting around in your veins and arteries. They love us. No, they don't. They have jobs to do. Jobs that clearly don't include you, because when we say edge interfaces, out messaging, in messaging, internal, that's called a blood vessel. And this huge yellow area is the human body. Welcome to molecular communication and nano-size or nanoscale routing under the skin, in the veins and arteries, with signal amplification. Yet we're all nice and quiet, expected to continue arguing with fraud. There's no reason to do that. Look it up for yourself. Oh, look, it's Cisco Yang again. They have to have a way to log in for ISR. I've been over this and over this and over this with your SDN and NFV, software-defined networking, network function virtualization, with your remote interfaces, remote procedure call people. It's all been upgraded so that you can get to it with the sensors open system architecture that is modular, the software-defined networking and network function virtualization. So, someone made the comment on the channel, they said, Sabrina, this is how they do it because the older people are lost. This all appeals to the younger people. Right. The younger people that have no clue about the legacy systems, how many people are being harmed by this. And some of them care, like Lee on the channel. He stopped by and he was very adamant. He's like, hey, not all of us want to do this to our grandma, grandpa, mothers, uncles, friends, cousins, whatever. But it looks like a lot of them do. And there's your augmented reality, virtual reality, electronic corridors, self-driving cars. So you can't continue to sit here and tell me, well, they're going to turn it all off. That's physically not possible. Which is why, in closing, these are people going to work. These are jobs. And until we are able to deal with that and stop dehumanizing all these groups of medically harmed people, from these types of people thinking, hey man, I'm just going to school. I'm just going to go to work. These are systems for being under people's skin, and it isn't that they walk into a clinic and ask you to do it. You're doing it at the level of omics, at the level of remote biomedical telemetry, and the frauds with counterintelligence that we have fought for 3 years on our channel, they're good. In fact, they're so unbothered by doing this to innocent people, with medically maiming whoever gets in the way, man. If your DNA can't take it, well, who cares? That their comment out of Ian Carroll's Twitter, oh, we need to reduce pill the masses. You don't need to worry about it. We'll just log into you 20 more times and we'll do to you whatever we want to. This won't end well for anybody. And telling people about the smart cities is great, but they're already to their mega region cognitive city structure. So don't start screaming solutions. I have another video for that. Because where we go from here as actual humans, if you're not talking about this, using ambient and local signals on non-cooperative subjects, if you're not talking about these Internet of Nanobio things systems with all these college students. And instead, I mean, even the Reddit knows who Pierbo is. It Professor Pierbo? I think it is. Even the Reddit knows who it is. Of course they do. Nerds hang out there a lot, don't ya? Yeah. What does that look like to you? Oh, it's outside the body. BS. Again. There's more of Corinne. Some of us would really like to be able to get back to our family for whatever time we have left being a human. There's Christy. Right next to the ITU on the search terms. Is that something? And all of this for exactly what Professor Akhildes told you, which non-vaxxer plays for you all the time. This was all done so that you are less biological. Oh, look. Professor Akhildes slides. Now, this is on the Reddit, okay? And those are slides from Professor Akhildes. We create man-made biological nanomachines. Why are all the large influencers and truthers afraid to talk about the Internet of Bio-Nano things? Israel claims to be leading the biodigital convergence revolution. Yeah. Why won't you talk about business and industry? That's not a lizard. Well, you don't know. Okay, whatever. But it's not. These are people going to work. This guy is on the YouTube explaining molecular communication. Here he is again. Cambridge Conversations. Yep. Here's the Springer link for diabetes telemedicine system with secured access. So that you don't have to give yourself a shot. They can wirelessly log into your BioCyber port with your Bio-Nano node so you don't have to stick a needle in. It's done wirelessly by your Silent Hill nurses and Yeti friends that still won't admit these are legitimate systems with legitimate market share for legitimate medical reasons. Open that one for you too. And again, what is nanotechnology and how does it work? Stay away from anything that says retracted because they have been working this out with different businesses. You can go to Science Direct from lab to consumer. You can go to Science Direct again with what we have been teaching you. The sensor networks with the Internet of Things. The RFID intelligent tags and your cute little arrays and assays. And intelligent backscatter. Visible light communication. But the one thing that you will not find on our channel is a bunch of fear-mongering and nonsense so that you keep spinning in a circle. We don't like that for ourselves, so we're not going to do that to other people. And if you don't like my tone of voice, well, that might be because you haven't been in the middle of this yet, or you haven't lost a family member for getting their donut. This isn't funny, and it's not okay on any level. You bypass decades of medically maiming people so that you would have life extension technology for yourself. And all we're asking you to do is admit it. The Internet of microfluidic things, bio-nano things, nano things, there's an internet of for just about everything. So why then is this so difficult? Check it out. She got market share. Of course they do. We're going to stop it. No, you're not. No way. If you were, you wouldn't have deployed the convid. If there was anybody in our intelligence community that was going to do shit, they would have had to have done it before they deployed the testing, the load balancing. Why were there different amounts of this, that, and the other in the shots? Because you don't understand load balancing body area networks that they've been playing with since 1995. This is computer networking through the human body. They didn't need to tell you. They're too busy making money and going to work for this. Worldwide. This is not something that is only known to the United States. Not at all. Worldwide. And that's the biosphere component of this I'm very worried about. Because I understand from the routing side, boy, are they dug in deep to your veins and arteries, your brain stem, your gut microbiome. Dude, there is nothing these people have left alone. Nothing. So if I were you, and I didn't understand all this, and I want to click my heels and jam my head in the sand, I would head over to Non-Vaxxer 420's Rumble. I would be looking for people like Ryan Velli, because when they complain about me, and hey, again, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, then what you do is you come over here and you're like, okay, I want to learn about CERN. You type in CERN up at the top, and what you're going to get is them.
100 years ago, and we're pretty good at reverse engineering that and understanding how it works. And my favorite engineers will talk about their technology working auto-magically, just as if, humans have evolved over the course of millennia. And, they are still full of magic and mystery and messiness. And there's so much we still don't know. We don't even know how many different types of cells there are in the body. We don't really understand the fundamentals of the human immune system. So, magic and mystery make the neobiological revolution a lot different than the digital revolution. But it's also a completely different risk profile, right? I mean, we're talking life and death here. And, it's also a highly regulated industry, whereas, with the digital revolution, there was no regulation in place. So, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from the digital revolution, but this is really quite different.
Yeah, that doesn't say Masons. It doesn't say Illuminati. It doesn't say lizards. It says HEALTH. And you have done a great job just dehumanizing everybody who tries to talk about any of this. And what Non-Vaxxer, this is one of his older videos, but what you can do is click on the link below here, the big one, and it'll tell you CERN Sparks is a serendipity forum bringing together experts from diverse fields to discuss major scientific and technological topics, fostering innovation and cross-disciplinary collaboration. Well, that's AI, Sabrina. Okay, well then go directly to CERN itself. That's all you got to do. This is what we mean here on my channel, and I will speak a little bit for Non-Vaxxer, his team of people, and our tertiary communities. When you hear us say that you need to read, this is what we're getting at. It's not hard, but getting out of your own way because it's terrifying and blah, blah, blah. We understand that, but grow up. You got to deal with it. It is what it is. Not, what? Calm down. Because until you yourself understand what you're looking at, how are you going to help yourself, let alone anybody else? And many of us here, at least on the Synergy channel, we have family members to take care of. We do not have billionaire status somewhere, okay? So that's one, Non-Vaxxer. And the other person that I would recommend, what are you called? I think he's over on the BitChute, pretty sure, hang on. Natural Intelligence. His name is Ryan Velli. And Ryan Velli, oh, hey. Oh, thank you, sir. Now, here's the thing. People get cranky because they're like, but he posts all these other things. Yeah, that's his purview. He has a lot of friends and other people that have also tangled with your synthetic biology until they discovered